Good day to everyone. How is everyone doing out there today? It's been nice weather the past few weeks, pretty exciting. Busy out in the garden, getting things planted, and we ordered more fruit trees. And we're expanding our food forest. So that's pretty exciting. We're going to be putting more fruit trees in. And right now I'm just standing in part of the food forest here, all the fruit trees. So this is all our blueberries in here. I like to expand more, get more, but we'll just see how that goes this year. They did pretty good last year. And then over here we have two of our pear trees, and they're starting to bud out right now. And so we got two more, so I'm going to add two more pear trees into here because we have space there for it. And over this way, I'm not sure I've done a full tour of the food forest before. I might have, but I can't remember. Over here we have all our, got two cherry trees, transplanted these from my old last garden. We've got some apple trees that I picked up some of the suckers from my apple tree that I had planted at the other garden as well. There's three of them, they're really tiny. And we got 9 trees here. There's an apple and a plum tree. So I'll be expanding some more apples today as well. And over here, in the corner here, I put in 2 elderberry bushes. There's one there, and I guess this tarp here is falling over it. Another one over here. The deer got to them at the end of the season, but I think they're pretty prolific. They actually had flowers on them last year, and the tag's coming off. This one is a Asparagus elderberry. So they did all right last year until the deer got to them. So I was going to plant more apple trees here, but I don't think I have the room here. So we have another spot where we have an old apple tree that was on the farm when we got it that I'll be planting over there. Over here is our strawberries, which what I'm going to do with this runners, I'm actually going to take the runners and I'm going to probably plant them all through the orchard there so that they can run rampant over there and just do whatever they want to do, because runners will come take over this area here. This is our asparagus patch here. I have a few more crowns to put in, but it doesn't look like anything's coming up quite yet. I trimmed off all the dead asparagus ferns from last year. Oh, actually, let's look at this. Here's an asparagus right here coming up. First one of the season. That's a good sign. There should be some more popping up all down here soon enough. I'll put a lot of wood chips down because I want to cover up all the weeds and stuff last year. It's pretty weedy in here. And over here I transplanted some of the suckers last year and the strawberries, but I actually need to take these guys out and I'm going to stick them over there because I'm going to put more asparagus into here. We have, I think, another 10 more crowns. And then over here is the new section that I am expanding on this year. So last year I put in 2 Haskell berries. They're the first things to fruit in the spring. They're cold hardy up to zone 3, I believe. And so there's lots on there. And what I'm going to end up doing halfway through the season, I'm going to split them in half and plant some more so they have more bushes. And then we ordered a bunch of apple trees and fruit trees for a bunch of people. And we picked up some other stuff as well. But the lady gave us 2 free Haskell bushes. I think they're like 1-year-old bushes. One here and one here, it's hard to tell. I just put them in yesterday. So they'll be expanding all through here, be Haskells. I'd like to put another few more back here. I gotta trim some of these branches back. And then, oh yeah, we picked up a gooseberry as well. Stuck it in there. And then as well, I've got inside some sea buckthorn. I've got goji berries, got mulberry trees. And I think that's what I've got inside so far. And we also picked up 4 peach trees. We're in zone 4, so these ones are hardy to zone 4. Whether they produce fruit or not, we'll find out. This is what I'm working on today. I have tarped this whole area up here to kill off this whole grass, because this grass gets like waist deep, but I've done a good job of killing most of it off. And this will all be wood chipped up. But yesterday, what I did was start digging holes. So I've got 4 holes dug, And it's actually a lot nicer soil than I thought it was going to be underneath all this junk in here. Kind of looks like they just piled a whole bunch of dirt from somewhere, wherever they were excavating. So there's 4 holes. So we'll show you planting some of the peach trees in a few minutes. I'm just going to grab some compost and we'll go from there after that. But what I'll do is I'll walk down to this other section here where I am going to be adding more stuff as well. So this area is kind of a wasted area. It's nice because it gets sun for most of the day. So last week I threw in I think 8 elderberry cuttings we got. They had leaves on them, but they're not looking so happy right now. But we'll see what happens. There's one there. There's one in the back here. This gets pretty wild in here as well. So we'll see what happens. This cutting here we go. Right there. So I'm going to end up putting a lot more wood chips down when I get more in this area too, to punch back all this grass and stuff. So there's one there. There's another one over here. So he's looking good. So yeah, I've got 8 of them scattered in. He's doing pretty well actually. Still going nicely. And over here, not sure what happened to this one. Oh, there it is. So yeah, we got there's 8 there. And what I'm going to do actually is probably put an elderberry or a mulberry tree in there, and probably mulberry tree in here somewhere, and another one over here. So I'll have 3 of them along here. And then this is the apple tree here, the old one. So I pruned some of it this spring. It needs a lot more pruning. It's pretty old and ragged. See a lot of the dead wood on here. The foliage isn't growing. So I need to cut actually all this stuff off here. Would be wise. I got some of the suckers pruned off, but there's still lots up there. And so what I'm going to do, I've got 2 apple trees. I'll probably stick some in here, one here and one on the other side too, which will help pollinate this tree as well, which is exciting. But maybe I'll show you that in a different video. I'm hoping to get that done in the next day or 2, so the trees start taking off. So I get all my equipment, we'll get this set up, we'll show you planting some fruit trees. All right, so let's talk about the location where I'm planting my peach and nectarine trees. So peach and nectarine trees, they like more of a warmer climate. So that's why I set up here in zone 4. We're kind of pushing the limits on growing these trees. They probably do a lot better in a zone 5, or maybe even 6 would be more ideal. But I like to experiment here and see what we can try to grow. I love peaches. I even love nectarines even more. So what I'm doing is planting it along our hay shed here. And what that's going to do is going to reflect the heat back, prevent the wind blowing around as much. So wind's only coming from 3 directions, and it's even protected here from wind. And it's going to create a little microclimate, and that's what we want, just to give that extra bit of help to get those trees to survive and as well produce fruit in the next few years. So what I've done here, like I said previously, I've got 4 holes I've dug. So I just dug this one up a bit just to show you, and we'll dig all 3 of these next, and we're going to put some compost in the bottom, and then we'll plant them in. But I just want to show you something about fruit trees here, guys. You get them from a nursery. So these trees we got are bare root trees. As you can see, there's nothing on them, just the roots. And they've all been grafted here. So you can see they've been grafted right there. So when you're planting your fruit trees, you do not want to plant above the graft here. So you don't want the soil above there. If you do, your grafted part's just going to root, and you're going to lose the benefits of having your rootstock here. So the rootstock, the reason they graft onto there is to help prevent diseases. And there's different rootstocks like dwarf, semi-dwarf, and regular size. So if you were to plant this would just grow into like a regular size, probably 15-20 foot tree. Whereas with the rootstock here, this will probably grow maybe 8 to 10 feet maybe tall. So that's the benefit of that. So I'm gonna show you guys quickly here what we're gonna do. So when you're digging your hole, you want to make sure that the hole is big enough so that the roots are able to fit in there nicely. Now that's going to be too deep because as you see, this is buried too deep. So once I add the compost, it's going to be raised up to there, and the graft will be right above the soil line. So I'll do this one here first quickly to show you guys. Drop in my compost here, throw a little bit of soil on top, just mix it around. I think I might need a bit more just so that the root is up and out. So this one here is a peach tree. It's a white night peach tree. So as you can see, we'll set her in nicely like that. That looks good. And now I'm just going to backfill here. Making sure that everything is covered. I'm just going to pack it down slightly just to make sure it's firmed up nicely in there. It's not going to go anywhere. There we go. So as you can see here, it's grafted here. I've buried it about 2 to 3 inches down below the graft. So that's in nicely. And next, we'll water them all in once I get them all planted up. So that's how you plant yourself a tree. And as well, what you can do to make sure the water gets held in and absorbs down, you can make a little ring around your tree here like this with the dirt. Kind of like that. So if you do this, when you water in, the water will stay inside the ring here and absorb down. And then as well, if it rains the next 3 days, it'll just stay put right where you want it. And we'll just add a bit more over here too. So there we go, guys. That's how you plant a bare root tree. So I'll go along and finish planting these next 3 and show you what they look like when they're all in. Okay, the trees are planted in. This one here is a Harblaze nectarine, and I've got the space about 10 feet apart. The peach is a bit closer. This is a Harblaze one as well, nectarine, and we have a Herodon peach, and the last one I think I said already, but it's white knight. So next step is I just need to water them in quickly, and it will be awesome. So with your fruit trees, guys, when you're planting them from bare root, you need to make sure you water them every day for 2 weeks. Otherwise, they could dry out and die off. This way, watering them every day for 2 weeks, you're getting the moisture they need to establish, get the roots to start growing again, and make your trees happy. The other thing is, because I don't have enough wood chips yet, I am leaving the tarps down here. I'm going to bring another tarp down between the trees here, because I don't want this grass growing up. I want this all dead. So once I get the wood chips down, it's going to be breaking down, adding nutrients and keeping the weeds at bay. As well, last year, one other thing we have part of this area is some rhubarb. A friend of Kristen's had tons of rhubarb cuttings, so we dug up like 20 of them. It's crazy. And these ones here is funny. I just tossed them in, so I didn't want to dig them up, and they're growing. There's another one underneath the tarp here, which I'm not too worried about. So there you go, guys. A quick tour of our expansion of the food forest and on how to plant bare root trees. This applies to any tree: apple, peach, pear, plum, you name it. Even things like blueberries, goji berries, all planted the same way. Just make sure they're above a graft if they're grafted. Hope you guys enjoyed that tour and then the planting. Thanks for watching. Don't forget, guys, please hit the subscribe button. Leave us comments. It helps the videos get out there. And if you have any questions, feel free to ask and I will answer them. Have a great day and happy gardening.